You're watching the Vantage Point video blog, and this is episode 4. Okay, so the news, well, big news is, of course, I have a shed, which is far more exciting than anything Vantage Point related at the moment. And as soon as I finish this video, I will be putting lots of shed items in it that have been residing in the garage for the last couple of years. As for Vantage Point, well, no progress has been made on the 24 Hours of Freedom video. That is, as I've not taken a single photograph since the last vlog. We've been a bit more productive in the studio, and everything's nearly done. Drums, bass, guitars and vocals. There are some keyboard parts coming in from Matt, which he's sending in via email, and Murray's actually in the studio today doing some mixing, so all being well, we should have a new album out by the end of the summer, in the autumn. I think it's going to be called On Target. We look forward to releasing that. And someone's just started cutting the grass, so I'll finish there. Right, we're back inside. The shed is no longer empty, and it's time to hear Liam plays guitar, and a track from the Tomb of the Eagles album called Into the Vault. So the song Daredevil on the Shore is obviously from our debut album. It was one of the last written for the album, because and when we went to record it, we hadn't actually played it live at all. And it ended up being the last song on the day to be recorded, by which time Murray had to leave because he had a gig with Bombscare. And I gave him a lift to his gig, which I think was at the Counting House, and left Liam and Dave to get on with it. And the first thing Murray said the next day when he heard the playback was, "That's not the right arrangement." But that's what's recorded, so that's what we've got. And I'm sure if you asked him now, he wouldn't know what the original arrangement was. And we didn't tape rehearsals at all in those days, so there's no record at all of what it originally sounded like. So, but it came out great in the end. Obviously, I think he had to alter his lyrics a bit, or alter how many words were in each verse or chorus to suit this new arrangement, but it's worked out fine. One thing I remember from when we were rehearsing it is he always did his maniacal laugh, and I asked him, "Are you going to put that on the recording?" And which obviously he was, and he did. And that's always a highlight when we play that song live, particularly when you're playing to someone that hasn't seen you before. And when we start it up and he goes off into his laughter mode, you certainly see a reaction in the audience to that. And obviously that song became the title track of the album, and so I spoke with the artist about we need artwork for Daredevil on the Shore. So we came up with the idea of a devil on a shore, and the shore was made up of skulls which were on fire. So I thought, it's great. I sent it to the band, and they went, "Nah, not really liking that." And they wanted a shore with like water and a beach, sea and stuff. And then it was Dave's idea to have the guitarist projecting a shadow of a devil, which he'd obviously got from the Star Wars The Phantom Menace, where they had young Anakin projecting the shadow of Darth Vader. So I went back to the artist and gave him that concept, and redid it. And then obviously had to pay for both artworks. So from that moment on, I never consulted the band. I presented artworks finished and complete. And maybe sometimes if I need artwork and I can't think of what should be in it, I'll ask Murray, I'll say, what kind of artwork do you want here? But basically the band no longer sees the artwork until the song's been released, so they can't object. And the video is really good. We did that 5 years after we'd released the album, using it to promote our 5th anniversary gig of the album. And it was down in East Lothian with the Bass Rock in the background and a castle which name escapes me. I can vaguely remember it, but it starts with a T, I don't think I can pronounce it, so I'm not going to. But we had got a really nice sunny day in April for that, just by chance, and it was great apart from the water, which was rather cold. But we didn't spend too much time on it. So yes, so Daredevil's definitely one of our popular numbers live. It's become the de facto last song of the set. It works well. Singing into Daredevil from Grip by the Throat. So I think it will be one we'll probably always play. For this episode's archive clip, we're going back to 2005, a gig we played at the Exchange on the 26th of November, when obviously Ali was still our lead guitarist at that time. I think it was his 3rd last gig, though he hadn't told us he was leaving the band. I don't know if he decided then or decided the following month. And this is Too Much Work, which is obviously from our debut album, not from our Work album, although it's dealing with the same subject. Well, for this episode of Out and About, we've come all the way to my back garden where we can see one of my lockdown hobbies, which was rock painting. Impressive, don't you think? There's Thomas the Tank Engine, the big Vantage point sign. I like this one, though I didn't do it, but it looks cool. My Lego man's pretty awful, unless you look from a very far away, and it's not so bad. Castle, which has a front and a back. The weather's got the better of this one, but it was an absolutely awful drawing of an archer supposed to be Robin Hood, so probably a good thing. We've got Bod from Children's TV. Tribute to a Vantage Point song, again not by me. There's Riccardo Patrese and his Williams FW12C from 1989. Count Duckula, Super Ted, and again Danger Mouse, who looks pretty horrendous close up, but if you come far enough away, it doesn't look so bad. So that was Out and About. Now back to the studio. Alright, for this episode's top 5 of something, we're having the top 5 Star Wars figures that I own. And at number 5 we have C-3PO. This was the first figure I ever got in John Menzies in Dalkeith. And as you can see, he's a bit sugary now. I don't think I'd actually even seen the film, but I remember pestering my parents to buy him for me. At number 4, a much later figure, is Luke in its Stormtrooper outfit. Unfortunately, his helmet's long since been lost, which I can speak to my brother about. At number 3, Rebel Hoth Trooper, which looks pretty cool, and he was always good for playing in the snow with. Number 2, the AT-AT driver. Just a really cool looking figure. And number 1 is Zukas, just because he's got this really cool coat. So that was the top 5 Star Wars figures that I own. Well, that's another episode over. Any likes and subscriptions to the channel are much appreciated. If you want to watch our promo video for Daredevil on the Shore, you can click a link vaguely up here. And if you click the link down here somewhere, you should be able to listen to the studio recording of Too Much Work. Thanks for watching.